This, this is a journey into sound. This is a journey. This is a journey into sound. Sound.
What is going on? What is going on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it.
What is going on? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland. Tech Thursday. I don't know why I say ladies and gentlemen. It's usually all gentlemen, like every time. But that's okay. I'm happy to have anybody who wants to be on here and have questions for me. I appreciate everybody. We're gonna try to keep this one shorter. I don't really want to go past noon. I'd like to be done by 11:30. I got client calls to make. I got stuff to do. So hopefully we can kind of fly in and fly out. We'll see what happens. Let's see who's in the building right now. We got Mixmaster GNL. We have Mark Scott, DJ Big Woo, DJ Queso, Disco Worm, Matt Wiley also in the building. Disco Worm says, Terry, have you been on a diet? You look great. Thank you. I mean, I have changed my eating habits per se, and I've been going to the gym. I signed up for my gym membership. I think I mentioned this like a couple of weeks ago that I needed to start swimming again. So I signed up for a membership, I think last Monday, and I've already lost. I started running with my dog before that, but I've lost like 8 pounds. I still have about 10 more to go. 10 more to be comfortable. 15 more to be like, yeah, this is where I need to be. So we're working on it. However, one of the cool things though is that I know a lot of people. I was talking about swimming, how I got into the pool and I just like sucked it up last week. This week, body's starting to remember swimming and technique. So Tuesday, I swam my typical mile. So I was really happy about that. I was supposed to be going earlier, but then the kid got a little. Kids are kids. So I didn't go to the gym. So I'm going to go to the gym a little later today, which I actually hate, but it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta delay. So like I said, this one might be a quicker show. The audio is delayed somehow. If the audio is delayed, let's change some OBS properties. It likes to reset itself sometimes. No, it says it's on. Hold on. I'm going to flip something real quick. So sit tight while I change this. See, this is when I need some extra videos, which I don't have on me right now. So let's just go to the wake up screen. So just sit tight. Okay. Let me know now if the audio is still delayed. It does happen sometimes. Yeah, we'll see. Looked perfect. Do you have planned a set or freestyle when you mix? Okay. So, we'll see what happens if I'm still delayed. If I'm still delayed now, it is what it is. It happens. I'm gonna check the one thing. Yeah, we'll see. Looked perfect. Do you have planned? I think it's good now. I think it's good. Seems good. Okay. Perfect. 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 All right. So, T Diesel in the building. That's one of my mods. He will be handling. He will be handling all the drama. So if there is any drama in this chat, that will be the man that kicks you off. Now he's a lot nicer than John P. John P is taking a little break from Twitch. Uh, so you two people, I guess, can say what you want to say. It happens. So let's talk. We'll get into some drama in a minute, but let's check out the questions. If you have any questions today, and I have no music, I have nothing. Maybe I'll put some music on. I have been so delayed, so lazy when it comes to music lately. Um, I don't know why. I have a computer over there. I got a computer over there. It's just silly. LP Lang in the building. Bomb Entertainment in the building. Who else we have in the building? Mark Scott. I think I already said. Scroll down to the bottom. Ha, John P is in the building. I thought you were taking a break. I thought you were taking a break. Oh man. Well, good to see you here. Good to see you here. Okay. So if you guys know how this works, this is Tech Thursday. You guys got to hit the ask button if you have any questions so I can see them and try to stay on topic and on focus, because I can talk myself out of focus sometimes. Um, so we will start that up. I will say this. So I ran into a situation. Maybe we'll talk about it a little later. Maybe we won't. I haven't decided yet. I ran into a situation where apparently, well, you know what? We won't talk about that right now. We'll talk about it later. So let's check all the asks and let's see what we got going on here. I know we're a little early. People don't typically pop on for another 20 minutes. People always like to wait. So we're going to check the asks. Wish there was a way to filter down. Huh. Okay. It just kicked me off stream. It could be one of those days. It just could be one of those bad tech days where things just aren't working. Uh, Terry, you should try Nutrix Lipo 6 Black Concentrated Stack Up with nitrix oxide. It would do wonders on your body. That seems like a lot. I'll look it up though. But when I see things like lipo, that sounds like something fatty. Not fatty like, I mean, hamburger fatty, but it sounds like that's where it's attaching itself. I'll take a look. We'll see. Okay. All right, let's see what we have here. DJ Doc's Block says, do you plan a set or just freestyle when you mix? My answer is yes, I do both. So I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I am a freestyle mixer by heart. However, typically when I start up my mixes, if I don't start up with a plan, my freestyle will go completely wrong. So what I do is I usually set up the first like 15 songs, and usually by the 10th, 11th song, like my brain is working now, because sometimes your brain doesn't work when you're trying to freestyle. So you're just like, I don't know what to play. And then everything just starts to kind of domino effect. So I will do that. And then usually, like I said, by around 10 songs, maybe 8 or 9, my brain starts kicking in. I start kind of feeling out what I'm playing, if it's working, if it isn't working. If I'm DJing live, that gives me an indication of like how the crowd's reacting, if I need to deviate, if I need to make some large sweeping changes or just some kind of micro adjustments. It's all the same. But I I think once you DJ long enough, you start to develop your own like internal playlist. So that means that there are you've done sort of these songs for so long that you would just kind of internally know which songs to play. So even if you don't have a playlist, even if you are freestyling, you still have a pattern. There's always patterns and everything. So you will always have a pattern that works for you. But yes, I do both. I rarely just turn on and freestyle without having some pattern kind of set up beforehand. If I don't have a pattern, it typically goes horribly wrong. Okay. All right, let's see here. Queso says, Queso's gonna, I guarantee you, I haven't even looked at the question yet, but it's something super technical that is gonna have me like searching stuff. Let's see. I like using Arturia music products, and I don't see many honest reviews. Not honest like you. Is it possible to be a product reviewer or to get sponsorship, or how can I get sponsorship? Okay, it's a good question, Queso. um, you know, I talked about sponsorship yesterday, and somebody came at me and said, you shouldn't talk about sponsorships and that you get free products, but I get free products because I worked my butt off to be able to get free products. So there is a sorry, my throat's driving me nuts today. So there is this kind of give and take with what it is that we do. Now, I've seen people get sponsorships with super sponsorships and or free gear or free test gear with super small channels. It's not necessarily the channel that is the issue. It's just the content. It's if a client feels that what you're doing can directly impact them. But sometimes the easiest way, honestly, is to just email them. Email them and ask. I mean, I I started with this without knowing anything. So I fell through the whole, um, you'd work and then all of a sudden some Amazon people would contact you. So you would do that. And then it was, it was few and far between until I actually got contacts with some of the bigger companies. Um, I think the first one that reached out to me, actually, um, no real big companies reached out to me. I had to reach out to them. Basically what happened was at NAM, I got introduced into in music, and then they set me up. But it wasn't until then that it happened. Like nobody just came at me and said, "We want you to do this. We're in music. We're Pioneer." Pioneer, same thing. I had to approach them. I had to talk to them. Same thing with Reloop. So the best thing to do is just ask. Just ask the question. And a lot of times, if they see what you're doing and you can provide value to what it is they're doing, they'll take care of you. It honestly just depends. Hold on, let me just pull this up here. Why isn't this video? Sorry, I have to make some adjustments to this video here. There we go. Oh, okay. Looks like we're good. Okay, so and let me turn off all these extra streaming things. This could be causing a problem also. All right, back to you. Back to you. Okay, let's see. That's what I do. I start. DJ T Diesel says that's what I do. I start with like 10 to 20 planned tracks and then freestyle from there. Yeah, yeah. What is his name? Stuntaquan. Stunticon. Sorry, it's like a Decepticon, but he's stunting on him. I freestyle 99% of the time, and I hate when you get brain freeze standing there like a moron trying to think of what to play next. Yes, that is a real thing. It is an absolute real thing. It sucks, especially if you're drinking. Got too many drinks and you're trying to freestyle. Oh my God, is that a nightmare? Okay. All right, let's go back up here. Joe Squared says, how do you book more gigs? This is a very tough question. It's tough and easy at the same time. Okay. So, first off, we would need to clarify what you mean when you say gigs. Are we talking about mobile gigs? Are we talking about club gigs? Are we talking about touring gigs? Are we, like we need to know these things. However, in general, if we're talking about um, mobile gigs, easiest way to get gigs is to offer yourself up to people you know already. Hey, I'm a DJ. I got equipment. Let me do your party. Start your prices reasonable, and reasonable could be literally free to a 6-pack to $50. Start developing your base from there, and then move on. Let the word of mouth kind of take you. The one thing I would not tell you to do is go work for somebody else and then advertise yourself on their parties. That's a definite no. If we're talking club gigs, if we're talking like main stage club gigs, those are much harder to get. Those are legitimately like through promoters and either small promoters and or large promoters. So it's typically you have to know them. So you have to go to these venues. You have to become a face, similar to like a Twitch. You have to become a face, and then they will slowly, start to look at you differently. Have your social media game up. Make sure that you got social media that people can look at after the fact and know what you do, know the quality of your work, and also start small. Don't try to do the big clubs. Do a couple of lounges. Do some, smaller bars. Kind of get your feet wet that way, and then go from there. At least that's what I would do. Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay, Mixmaster GNL says, I got requests to review my products almost every day, so I usually look at the person requesting his socials. And if that is in line with what I do, then I'm fine with that. That's why DJCU got a shitload tutorials in different languages. Exactly. I think Mixmaster GNL is probably the first. He's probably a perfect example of this because, he is a smaller developer, but his reach, exceeds most people. So yes, perfect example. But all you can do is ask. I mean, legitimately, all they can do is say no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people get afraid to ask for things because of the rejection, but all they can do is say no. And then once they say no, you figure out why they said no, and you move on. I mean, rejection is a part of this thing. Like if you want to do anything with social media, rejection, negativity, trash talk, it's all a part of it. And you have to be able to kind of separate out the good from the bad. You also have to be able to separate out when people are being critical of you, if there is anything positive that you can take away from that. I'm not a big fan of, some people are like, well, if people are talking trash, just block them, just delete them. And I think that a lot of times when people talk trash, it's usually from a place of of just kind of ignorance, not necessarily the word I want to say, but ignorance of knowing you. You know, they see you on here, they see you on things, they think they know you, they think they know what's going on in your world, and they don't, you know. So a lot of times I always kind of feel through what somebody's trying to say when they say it. So let's see here. Okay. Queso says, what's the best affordable speaker to buy for you if it's your first set of speakers? This is a very, very tough question, Queso. It's almost, I would say it's almost an impossible question to answer because there are so many speakers out there. Uh, you know, the generic line is going to say, get the best speakers you can afford. And in my opinion, uh, you get the best speakers you can afford, but then you get the next one up. You get what I'm saying? Because typically speaking, the one you can afford is not the one that you probably should be getting. And I think a lot of people get into a situation where they buy um, super cheap product because that's what they can afford, and then they end up upgrading anyway. Had they just kind of saved up for another couple of months, if you can't, some people can't. I get it. Like you need that equipment now. Sometimes, and then they, you know, they buy and then they end up having to buy again. And so I'm of the mindset that, you know, get the best you can because usually speaking, the more you spend, the better the speaker, and then the more opportunities you have to use that speaker. You know, like there's certain speakers I wouldn't buy. You know, I wouldn't buy a JBL JRX speaker. I bought a JBL JRX speaker. They're horrible. I would never buy one again. And I told somebody, don't buy this speaker, even though it's JBL. So you know, it just depends. There's a lot of good companies out there though. You know, um, Digital Tech Tips has a speaker system that they swear by, and it's dirt cheap. So I'm not going to be the one that says that I've listened to every speaker because I have not. Have not. When I buy speakers that are going to be quality and they're going to do the job and do the job well. Like I don't want to buy cheaper products because, and I have to preface this because I think some people get confused. When I say these things, it has nothing to do with the fact that you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying that from my experience, um, I've learned some things. So that's all I'm going to say. Okay, so well, I'm balling. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah, every product that I ever reviewed in the beginning, uh, legitimately came from stuff that I bought. Every product before they sent me a single piece of equipment, and I didn't get equipment until besides Amazon stuff. I did not get equipment until NAM 2020, and I didn't even get it until around March, like right around quarantine, right around quarantine. So yeah, so it's a grind. It's a grind. Mixmaster says, how do we feel about NAM being 3 days instead of 4 days? Well, to be fair, I never went 4 days ever. I typically went 2 days. I wanted to do like 3 days, but usually because everybody knows NAM starts typically on a Thursday and then it goes through Sunday. But I work so I went Thursday and Friday, but typically I had a DJ gig on Saturday and or Sunday, and I wasn't going to necessarily drive back on Sunday on the last day. So I always wanted to go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then that's it. Go home. So I'm okay with it being 3 days versus 4 days. DJ Island says, uh, do you love doing parties for special needs kids for free? It puts a nice feeling in your heart. I don't really know the answer to that. Uh, I mean, it's very specific, I guess is what I'm saying. Like the whole thing about, the special needs and free. I've done tons of free events for people for whatever reason, pro bono events. Like I have done them. Um, but as far as a special feeling in my heart or whatever, I mean, I don't know. If I can help, I help. If I can't help, then I can't help. But yeah, I've done tons of free stuff for people, but yeah, I don't really know the answer to that. You know, I mean, I've done special needs parties that paid too. So, to me, if you can help and it's for a good cause, that's when it really affects me. When it's for a good cause. Okay. All right. Let's go back up because I know that I've jumped some people that I just happened to see. So let's see here. DJ Throwback in the building. What's going on? Okay. There was a lot of questions here. Okay. LP Lang says, what is the average rate you charge for a 200 guest wedding? How much equipment will include that? I will not give those prices out. LP has nothing to do with you or the question, but that is a personal thing. Let me clarify. That is a personal thing for you. Everybody has a different price. Everybody's price is different, comparatively speaking. So my price might be higher or lower than your price. Doesn't make it wrong. It just means that's what your market will bear. My market might bear a higher amount. We've been in business for 14 years, and we have developed a reputation that says no matter who's on your party, you're going to have a great party. So that consistency is what allows us to charge what we charge. So I can't give a price for that. And honestly, the number of people at the wedding doesn't really have anything to do with what the client orders, for a wedding. So the client, I mean, they could have 400 people. It just depends on the venue, depends on the client, depends on the stuff that they want. Like there's a lot of little details in there that make it a little harder. Okay. I got to answer these questions fast because I'm starting to lose them. Okay, so I'm going to jump through a couple. I don't want to lose them. DJ Poise said, why do I only get one color on the pads in Serato Studio? I notice when I load a track into the drop track here section, my slicer pads are only one color. That could be a setting because my pads are all different colors. And I think I did lose that other question. Well, we'll check that out in a second. Okay, let's drop back down. Which lavalier mic brand do you recommend? So I'm not a big fan of lavalier mics. I mean, I have a couple of Shure lavaliers that packs that go and they work just fine. I'm just not a fan of lavalier mics. I never have been because it takes a professional to be able to wear them and not make a whole bunch of noise. So I've never been a big fan of that. Okay. Let's see here. Disco Worm says my DDJ 400 works great on OBS, but I can't get my DDJ 800 to go through Twitch. DDJ 800 is record box only, and I have always had worse experiences trying to get things to work off a record box and streaming versus actually the 400 is record box too, isn't it? I can't remember right now. My brain's a little dead. Had a long morning. But typically speaking, it's because of the channel selection. So on like the DDJ 1000 and probably the 800, the channels will exist on the upper channels. So that could mean that they are at 11. Channel 11 could be your output, and OBS doesn't see it by default. if that's what we're talking about audio. You might have to change some settings in there. Try changing it to 5.1 in your advanced settings in OBS and see if you can hear audio through there. And go from there. Stuntaquan says you're sponsored by Reloop. I'm technically not sponsored by anyone. No hardware companies. And to be honest with you, if you are sponsored by a brand, typically speaking, you can't really talk about other brands. So I will never be sponsored by a singular company unless they're paying me a shit ton of money. And I don't have to. Or if like, okay, I'm ready to stop doing the YouTube thing. I'm going to go work for somebody, different story altogether. But yeah, if you're sponsored, it's a little bit of trouble for people like me. Okay. Now, I can do a sponsored video like, hey, we want you to advertise our product in your videos. So I could be doing like a gig log and then talk about, a Reloop product. That's different. That I can take those sponsorships, just not like I am a Reloop DJ, So, okay. Michael Crowder says, how was using DJ Pro and the Rain One together? Still have that video coming. It's great. Still, but I still have that video coming. It's just I'm trying to work some things out that have nothing to do with the Rain One and out in Algorithm DJ. So I didn't want to do that yet, just because it's a business decision. Okay. DJ Big Woo says, I'm between softwares, Serato and Rekordbox, and I want to know if I can have both on my laptop, or should I switch completely to Serato to get full use of the S11 Rain 12 MK2 setups. You can actually have as many softwares as you want on your computer. Like I have DJ, I have Virtual DJ, I have Rekordbox, I have Serato. I don't have Tractor. But you can have all of those on. You can run them separately. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't screw up anything. You're good. Yeah. And then find the one that you like. Find the one that works best for you. That's the key. Altos are trash. Hey, I haven't used Alto. Have not used Alto. But I will tell you this though. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to is more battery powered equipment, because I think that's the future. Is just a long lasting battery powered whatever. They have lights. Now they have the Denon Prime Go. If they can do a quality speaker, quality battery powered speaker, you already have uplights that are battery powered. If they can do a battery powered moving head, that's it. That's all it takes. Battery powered moving head with wireless built in. That's all I need. Ask, my Serato isn't connecting to my DDJ 1000 SRT. I missed a step when downloading the drivers. How do I correct this? Okay, so clearly you were on a MacBook and you ran into an issue where you basically skipped the main thing, and that is giving Serato rights to use your basically security protocols. Anything after, is it Mojave? I think it might have been Mojave. They put new security protocols to allow you to be able to access your audio drivers. Let's see. I'll try to show it. Let's see if I can. We're going to make a mental note about that because my computer's all the way over there. So let me just make a note of this and we'll get back to that in a little bit. Okay. Security. Okay. All right. Diamond Lee in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. I'm delayed, so I'm trying to catch up here. Artiphone. I think that's Artiphone. Says my Serato isn't connecting to my DDJ one. Okay, we just talked about that. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Have you tried? Have you had a chance to try the Rain 70 A-Track edition? I have not. I didn't even ask them for to send me a model to send me a unit. I didn't ask them. I ran it through Mojax because I was like, "Hey, do I need to review this?" And he's flat out said, "You know, you had a thorough review on it already. There's not much differences. I would say no." So I took his word for it. Now, having said that, does it look beautiful? Hell yes, and I would love to. Uh, BSE says you were right. I love my Rain 70. Hey, I'm a straight shooter. You know, people love to say that I'm a certain way. You're this, you're that. The one thing I am is honest. Now, I know for a fact that my honesty can rub people the wrong way. Whatever, whatever. It is who I am, you know? So I'd rather be honest and like have responses like that than dishonest and, you know, have nobody wanting to listen to anything I'm saying. L35 in the building. Good to see you, fam. Good to see you. Okay. Let's see here. DJ Vex says, with all the music coming out so fast, how do you determine what's a banger to play, especially when a lot of it sounds the same? Oh, that's a very good question. It's a question that I can't necessarily answer. Uh, I first off, you know, when you say banger, I'm assuming you're meaning more like hip hop stuff. There's several excellent playlists that are on Spotify, that are on Apple Music, that are really good at like kind of mapping out like what's hot at the moment. But also, um, you know, being around younger people helps. You know, a couple of my DJs are like all straight hip hop fans, and I know that if they're playing it, it's probably great. And also, don't be afraid to go to a club or two, you know, see what's hot. That's kind of the issue. You know, if you want to know what's going on out there, you got to go out there. Okay. So it looks like it finally skipped. So if I missed a question at before 1040 and I didn't answer it, drop it back in the chat. Okay. Because all of a sudden it's like jumping super fast. Okay. DJ Big Woo asked, I love Record Box, but I also have an XDJ setup and just ordered the Rain setup. So, oh, thank you for the info. You are very welcome. You're very welcome. Mixed Master GNL says driver problem started with Mojave. But if I'm on M1 Big Sur, the procedure is more severe, including booting up in safe mode to disable system integrity protection. Wow. Okay. Okay. Island Boy says, can you add equalizer to a drive rack? To before or after the rack? I would add it. I would typically add it before, in my opinion, because the drive rack is going to change your frequencies. Like it's going to drop a high pass filter on your subs. It's going to change the frequency to like, I think it's somewhere around uh, what is it? I think it sits around 30 hertz. And so if you EQ after that, you're effectively distorting the sound. So do the EQ first and then let it do its job. Okay. ADJ on tour, chill, strong enough to do Dancing on the Clouds 175 wedding. Haven't seen any real use videos. I have not seen anything about this. So let's take a look. Okay. Let's see here. On tour fog machine. 429. On tour chill. Yeah, that's the one. All right, let's take a look. System's running a hair slow today. Okay. 429, which is very cheap for a in the clouds system here. And technology to do. Low-lying fog would use a standard water-based cool fog juice and ice cubes to generate effects. Okay, so chances are this is not going to be as good as what you're thinking of. I've used ones like this in the the dry ice or the ice cubes per se. They don't do as well as those dedicated fog machines. And at this price, I doubt it's going to give you what you're looking for. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Looks like Mixmaster will help the Mac thing, so that's great. Artiphone says, "How do you DJs use MIDI performance pads to DJ with a bunch of pads on them when Serato Tractor have a maximum of 8 cue points? How do you DJs use MIDI performance pads to DJ with a bunch of pads on them?" Oh, okay. It took a minute to understand that. Because the MIDI pads do more than just the cue pads. If you're talking about tone play, if you're talking about any type of MIDI mapping, you're going to need to have more than the 8 buttons. So a lot of people will use the tone play with the multiple buttons, so it helps. Like, for instance, this guy, obviously has more than 8 buttons. But when you start factoring in tone play, you're going to need to have these. And then, even with tone play, there are octaves. So, the more, for some people, the more buttons, the better. For some people. Not necessarily me, but for some people. Okay. Okay. What do we got here? Ask at a wedding. Big Boo says, will it be hard to transfer cue points from record box to Serato? I have a huge library. Would hate to have to do it all those cues over. Record box will not read Serato's cue points. So in order to do that, you need to use like the Mixmaster GNL's conversion software, his conversion utility. I'm assuming that somewhere down here, Mixmaster's already commented on it. But Mixmaster, if you want to send T Diesel the link, if it doesn't pop up, do that. His conversion software is cheap, and it'll do all those things with your cue points, so you won't have to think about it ever again. I mean, you'll have to resync if you update your stuff, but you know what I'm saying. Diamond Lee, do you think there will be? Do you think I can read this all at the same time? Do you think there will ever be a point where you DJ smaller events only? Do you think there will ever be a point where you DJ smaller events only under 150? I asked because I really want to upgrade to EV50s in a few years and not bring the two 18-inch subs and two 15-inch tops. So do I think I do smaller events all the time. COVID pushed all the numbers down. So like my average number throughout, I want to say up until like lately, has been around 130, 140, with an occasional like 180. But now finally I'm starting to get back to the 250s and the 300s. But you know, depending on the two 18s, depending on the two 15-inch tops, you probably don't need to bring your both 18s. You could get away with 118. I mean, my SRXs, I can do a 150 party if I really wanted to, if I really needed to, without bottoms at all, without subs. Like, that's how hard they hit. So I would say maybe you only need one. Now if you're doing, obviously, because like the SRX sub is equivalent to me to uh, probably maybe the smaller end earthquakes. Like, I have an 828, the SP, the huge one. I rarely use it because it's overkill. Like any room that I'm in, it just like takes over the room. So it just depends. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, it's not just for smoke though. This is specific. There's a very big difference between just that those pure living rig didn't work. I have an agent Mr. Cool, and unless there's no win whatsoever. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Looks like some of these questions were answered, so I'm gonna pop down and see some more. To clarify, so when doing tone play, where you obviously need more than 8 cue points, the pads are set to different octave settings as well. If this is all done in Serato programs, um, tone. So there will be there's typically an octave button within Serato, and that can be mapped. But then your tone play is your tone play. All those buttons. So you can map it however you want. But just to say, like with the XP, that has a dedicated tone play window. So once you get to a tone play, all those things are gonna light up, and then you can use that tone play. You know, the ones that you're talking about with all the buttons, those are MIDI mapped. You know, which will take some time. Yes, and this is true also. Yes, very very true. Just most people, like I remember when it moved past 4, and I was like, oh my god, there's 8. And then remember your when they came out with 8, they still had this 62 was still kind of the big dog. It was like right at the time the S9 came out, so you got the 8 cue points, and no, the SX had it too, the original SX. And I remember going, damn, it'd be so great if I had just that extra row of buttons. And then you got it, and now they're like, look, but you can do 16. That's 16 is too much for me. In my opinion, if you can't get done with 8 cue points, I think there's a bigger problem. I mean, that's just me though. Okay. Like for me, if I have 8 cue points, typically speaking, I'm confusing myself. In all honesty. So I would rather have like 8 is more than enough. Okay. Uh Anthony Quest says, I have the Rain 1 and one Rain 12. A lot of cases, coffins I see are 2 turntable mixers. Can you recommend anything for my setup? There actually is a a turntable mixer uh, box. I've seen it. It's been a long time, but it used to exist. Let's see if we can find it. Let's see. Turntable mixer. I'm just gonna Google it. Come on, search. Okay, there it is. Here we go. Okay, so this is on iDJ Now. It's made by ProX. Of course, it's made by ProX. I should have known that. Context is for availability, but you have your standard mixer and your one turntable. 229. There you go. So ProX. See, you come here for all the quality info. All the quality info. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh God, this thing's moving. What's the best column array you've heard for 100? I could not answer that. The best column array because I haven't heard them all. Um, I did speak to. Oh God, what is his name? Every time I say I forget a name, people think that I'm dissing them, but I legitimately just forgot their name. I think it's Mo. He was the same guy that was on. Let's see if I. Yeah, see, can't find him. He was the same guy that was on Nick Spinelli's when they were talking about line arrays, and he was saying that you shouldn't buy them. I ran into him at Beat Source, maybe 3 weeks ago, and we were talking about line arrays, and we were going into depth about the conversation and everything, and he's used them all, and he is of the mindset that none of them are as good as they should be. Now, I will say this: for 100, any line array probably is fine. Now, but we need to clarify, because is that 100 people sitting down at a sitting down for a what's the word I'm looking for, like a cocktail party, or is that 100 people that are trying to dance on the dance floor and they need to be banging? Because there's a difference. So you need to qualify that. If it's just 100 people and you need to provide sound, I think any line array, will do the job. But the issue to me comes with the bass, and then that's when you're gonna have to look around a little longer. Okay. What are your standard cue points? Uh, Check the video, Ro. I have a video on cue points, which will break down all that stuff. So, if anybody's got the link, I might even have the link. Tweak Music Tips in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out today. Let me see if I can pull that video up real quick across your channel. How I set my Serato cue points. That's the one. Okay. So I am going to post the link in the chat so you can have it. And there you go. Okay. All right. When you get to okay, how valuable is Oyede Neo RLC when only mixing is real vinyl? I cannot answer that. That one I cannot answer. Selang RB DMX1 DMX sliding interface for Rekordbox. Have you ever used it? I haven't. But in all honesty, at the time when I first looked at it, the reason why I didn't get it was because it was Rekordbox only, and I hate kind of pigeonholing myself into one specific platform. But it reminded me a lot of SoundSwitch, like a lot. Oh, like a lot. So it seemed fine though. It seemed fine, but as far as I like the integration in Rekordbox. I think that's really really cool. But yeah, that you can only use Rekordbox thing just turned me off. In all honesty. Okay. Eric Lazo says using Prime Go a lot. When I'm too lazy to bring a Serato Plus S9 out. What's a workaround for a sampler with the Go? Tried to find a few apps, but no luck. Can't give up the air horn and crew jobs. You could give up the air horn. Eric, give up the air horn. I'm begging you. Okay, so I'm not the right guy to answer this question because I don't use sampler. I mean, every so often I might drop my name, but as far as like just using sampler for stuff, it's never been my thing. I just don't need it. But yeah, You don't need air horn. Find another sample. Anything. I would rather hear you say "Bow, bow, bow, bow" on the microphone than you actually hit that air horn button. Oh man. Okay. All right. Good. I think I'm trying to get caught up here. Uh oh no, queso. I didn't say Record Box wasn't great. Record Box is great. Um if you're using Record Box, you got pretty much everything that Serato has and then some. Record Box is a full package. I have no problem with Record Box. My problem is I have too many products that aren't Pioneer, which means I can't use Record Box. So I am forced to have to use other programs. And there's certain programs that people will always tell me to use. Go use Virtual DJ. But I appreciate Virtual DJ. I have nothing bad to say about Virtual DJ. But just as a whole, on an everyday situation of me working, it's not the program that I'm into. Priya and Johnny in the chat. What's going on, fam? Make sure you guys are following PJ. That's my dude. That's my dude. Simple as that. So follow him. I promise you're in good taste. It's a Jersey Club thing. I understand. I completely understand. That doesn't make it right. Oh, PJ, in my little world of Cleveland, it's 82. It's going to be 91 in a minute, which is actually Southern California. So Sound Switch, DJ Gemini says I love Sound Switch. So I actually have first gen. I must have put it down. There's a CDJ 3000 on the ground, and I it was on the table, and I put everything down, which I haven't even used yet. I got to focus on DJing with the 3000 like today. I only have a few days with it. But you know what I didn't realize? It's big. CDJs are big. I don't know why I expected them to be a little smaller, but they're just like, it's a big ass box. But what I was saying before was, so I have the original Sound Switch, first gen, in the box, big box, and they came out with their update. I said, you know what? I probably should finally get into Sound Switch. So my problem with Sound Switch originally was everything. It did everything, but it didn't do enough. So when I needed like static scenes, and I needed to be able to control the uplights and the like trusses and moving heads separately. So if people, if I had uplights on and people wanted it to be a static light while they were eating, and maybe I'm dancing with another group, I wanted to be able to make sure that those lights stayed the same, but these lights didn't. Now they've been continuously upgrading it, so now this last one is really powerful. So I pulled out the Sound Switch and I plugged it into the XMG here, and it was like, nope, you got to update. And then I'm like, okay. So I updated. Nope, you got to get an iLock key. Now, there was no iLock key when I first bought the thing. So now there's an iLock key that's a software based. Can't stand iLock, but whatever. So I had to message them, and then they contacted me after I posted on IG, like immediately about it. So they got it fixed, but it still took like 15 hours. So my issue was that now again, I know that this has been a 2-year thing, because he was like, this has been going on for 2 years. I get that. I understand. I'm not saying that. But had I not been home, had I been like thinking that like my old Sound Switch stuff should still be there, or I could turn it on auto, I couldn't even get it to work without the key. So I had to wait. Sound Switch is very powerful. The new update is amazing. All the things that it can do, I love. The only thing I don't love, the only thing is I wish they would come out with a droplet, just a little droplet that sits on the side that has like set not settings, but like say your major scenes, the things that you always use, so I can click on those without having to go to the actual page. Like I got to tab over. I don't want to do that while I'm in the middle of DJing. So that's really the only issue that I have. I'll probably create a app, like a touch OSC app that has the pads there, and I'll just do it from there because I do need to be able to see what's going on. Okay. Let's see here. See, this is a personal choice, and I'm good with that. Now I just question why ye always will. Like, why is there this absolute need to throw an air horn in? I'm just curious. I'm genuinely curious because it's one of those things that everybody uses. So if anything, why not find another one or create your own? Why not make it yours? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. DJ Nico Steves with the subscription. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Jorge with the resub too. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Both of you. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. All right, let's answer this question. Selyang says, why do they not have a Serato version or a version that works on both platforms? Uh, okay, let's clear some stuff up now. Okay, because I think actually a running question that happens all the time. Why doesn't Serato come out with a version? Why doesn't Rekordbox come out with a version? Because that's not their job. Okay, Serato is a software company. Okay, they operate and license to companies that want to do business with them. Pioneer wants to do business with them with some things, and other things they want it to remain Rekordbox. When they say it's Rekordbox only, that's Pioneer DJ's issue. That's not Serato. They've basically locked it into Rekordbox only. Can't blame Serato for that. But I think a lot of people want Serato to be virtual DJ, but that's not the case. Virtual DJ is virtual DJ. Virtual DJ is designed to be that stopgap if you don't want to think about having a specific software for a specific hardware. That's what virtual DJ is. Serato, their name says we are here, we are on this equipment, and then that's it. If you want to buy Pioneer, if you want to buy, Pioneer is really the only example because everybody else has a Serato version. But that's kind of like arguing like why Reloop doesn't have a Rekordbox version for their hardware. For the Elite, why isn't there a Rekordbox version? Because that's not the contract that they signed on. Serato is not open source. You gotta let it go. If you want open source, you get virtual DJ or you get algorithm DJ. Those are your options. There's probably some more out there, but those are your two like main options. Okay. All right. Hopefully that was clear. And I wasn't directing that towards you specifically, but everybody wants every piece of hardware to work. Like the one thing that incenses me when I'm like on Rain's IG page, and they're like, "Hey, look, new mixer," and people are like, "How come it doesn't work with Rekordbox?" Why would you assume that? You know what I mean? It's like, are you going to make this for Rekordbox? No. Rekordbox is for Pioneer and Pioneer only. That's it. Okay. Architect says, I do a lot of reggae and Caribbean sets. It's part of the culture. I have 20 different ones and swap between them. That's why I use air horns. I understand that. But that is specific to a type. I'm talking about generic air horn guy. That may not be you. That's what I'm talking about. It's kind of like when people, we won't say that. I find sometimes I say things and then I get in trouble. I mean, I don't use it, but I think it sounds good in some songs. Are we talking about air horn? Air horn never sounds good in some songs. Air horn sits on top of songs. Look, okay. If you want to use air horn, your power. It's your life. You speak your truth. Okay. But all I'm saying is air horn has absolutely nothing to do with the song specifically. It might be you think that that a certain part of the song it produces more energy. That's very possible. But it's not like the air horn is in, in the G chord and it's in the key and you're like, "Ooh, look, this plays perfectly." It's air horn. Okay. All right. Craig Perry says, last time I joined you was trying to convert. Oh, come on. Sorry, chat's moving a little faster. Can't keep up. Okay. All right. Show on stream. Last time I joined you was trying to convert you to LD Dave G3 speakers. Have you and Mojex chatted more about the beast? Surely you've added them to your setup now. No, I have not. I have not even looked into them yet. They are on my list, but I just haven't. I haven't had a chance to check anything out. I've been a little. The God's honest truth is, uh, YouTube is just part of what I do, but I have a very successful DJ company and it's taken up a lot of my time. Like a lot of my time. There's a lot of events right now. So sometimes I don't have a chance. I already got 6 things I got to do reviews for that are just sitting here. So that's the issue. Okay. All right. I think I'm catching up here. Cleveland Terry, SRT 215s or SRM 215 V class. So I have not used the V class yet, Craig. Um, Mackie is supposed to be sending new. So we have 2 different videos we've already kind of worked out. First off, there's a delay in getting equipment, so it's going to take a while. But we're going to do an SRT one first, the Mackie SRTs, and then we're going to do the SRM V class. So that'll happen sometime, later in the year, which we'll do. But yeah. So I have no information on them just yet because I have not tested them truly. Okay. All right, let's jump around here. I have not used Yorkville. I have not. Do you have any videos on record pulls or DJ drops which are best to use? I have a couple. I have one on I have a couple on BeatSource. I have a couple. I have one on DJ City. I I don't have one on BPM Supreme. Neither here nor there. But I'll probably do another video soon. Probably. All right. I have a pair of 1200 have not been updated since. Any idea how I can get an updated? Oh God, no. I would suggest finding a tech guy out there, a tech guy that deals with it. That's really the only way. Like a virgin. Put an air horn to like a virgin. Yeah, I think people forget that everything I say. I just saw T Diesel's thing. Everything I say is personal. It's a personal opinion. You do what you want. You literally do what you want. It will not change anything for me. Headbanger says, I was told on IG Live with the person using the iRig that you could hear them through your speakers and you don't have to use your headphones to hear them. Is this true? Why are you on IG? See how I just like completely skipped your question? Did you go directly at you? That was wrong. That was wrong of me, but why? Um Yes, I do believe the iRig, you can go out of the headphone jack um, and hear, because it does work both ways. It's a two-way communication. Um, and hearing them through your speakers, the only problem is the reason why you use headphones is because if you hear it through your speakers, it's typically going to feed into your microphone and then you're going to get a feedback loop. So it's better to use headphones regardless. Okay. Are there any air horn pulls? Not that I know of. Okay. Remember, make sure you put that ask in. I think I'm catching up here. Air horn and key. That's hilarious. Yeah, speak uneasy. It depends on where you are. I would find somebody local, first. Like in California, there's a couple of guys that I trust to do my turntables. But I don't know that I would send my turntable to anybody outside of California. We've all been there. We've all been there. Okay, let's see here. Philip Tan in the building. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, fam, for the bits. Okay, let's see here. Okay, did I answer all the questions? Am I up to date with the ones I could? I have not used the Sennheiser, although my partner he had to buy a Sennheiser because of the frequency issue. We went up north and his mic would not work. This is a real thing, guys. Everybody that's rocking old microphones, uh, this whole T-Mobile bandwidth, frequency bandwidth issue for the cell lines, it's hurting microphones. If your mic's cutting in and out, chances are it's probably because of that. And in certain places we go now, some of our older mics that are operating, I think it's the 400 megahertz spectrum. I think it's 4. Uh, just don't work anymore. Dead, depending on where you are. So he bought one and he said it was good, but he did prefer the Shure. So he ended up going back out and buying a Shure. I was just about to go over to my desk for something and now I can't remember what it was. We were just talking about something. Can't remember right now. Okay. Does anyone use an airport at weddings? Steve, what does that mean? Like an airport express, like Apple? Sorry, you guys are hilarious with this air horn stuff. Okay. All right, let's go back. DJ Blue Silver says, I will not lie. When I had an old Newmark with Serato effects, I used air horns. I was an addict. I went to a 12-step program. Yeah, I get that. Ice Cap Nation, welcome, welcome. Thanks for hanging out today. Okay, so if you got any questions, make sure you hit the question. Cleveland it's having a brain fart moment. Maybe. I thought I reviewed the Phoenix mics. I actually got the 2-piecer. I always have to like take a mic out a couple. Oh, now I know what I was gonna go get. Hold on. I'm so late. I guarantee you it's already back. Oh, thought I was gonna not make it. So I had my guys from Zounds send me these bad boys, which we're gonna test out very soon. These are the XS wireless digital XLR base set. So you can run wirelessly to your speakers. I am really excited about these. Specifically because, first off, I'm tired of renting cords for like a cocktail speaker because people are eating outside now. So typically they put you in a different area, so you have to run sound, and now you're trying to talk to people, and it's just too hard. And running, you know, Nutric or XLR cables all the way down, 200 feet, 300 feet is a lot. So I am really excited about this guy right here. I'll let you know how it works. Unfortunately, I can't test it this week. It'll be next week because, uh, ask Facebook gaming for DJs versus Twitch. Twitch, guys, stay off of Facebook. They don't like you. They don't like you at all. Like, at all. I'm sorry to be that guy. They hate your guts. They want nothing to do with you on Facebook. So all you're going to do is enjoy getting turned off after 20 minutes every time. Facebook gaming is a completely different entity. Completely different. They don't want DJs. They want gamers because gamers bring more people on. Gamers are what is hot right now. So that's why. But nobody cares about DJs on Facebook. I cannot highlight things. It's driving me nuts today. I didn't miss the gaming update. I know exactly what it's doing. They just don't want DJs. They just don't want DJs. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh wow, it's already 11:30. Okay. The DJM V10 queso is beautiful, 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 but it is huge. Like, it's super large. But that's okay. Okay. Craig Perry says, great to hear how busy you are. I'm busy with my music library plus ripping CDs. I'm old school, still collecting CDs plus downloads. Do you rip CDs or fully download digital? Yeah, I have not ripped a CD in years. I spent time back in the day ripping CDs, but now, if I did rip a CD or, pulled a song through questionable sources, I've gone back with like BPM Supreme and DJ City and Beat Junkies over time and updated those to be better versions of the music. So yeah, I have not pulled a CD in forever, and I don't intend to. Not anymore. Not anymore. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, yeah. I actually have oh Jesus Christ, this is killing me today. I have both. I have the Phoenix 7000s, the 5000s, and the 7 PTU 71. This guy right here. So this guy is basically the PTU 7000, but in a 2 microphone small like Shure box, not the rack mounts. I appreciate the 4 mics. The only issue is I can't stand the rack mount because lately I haven't been bringing racks with me, so it actually kind of gets in the way because it's so large. Um, I The rack mount is currently in my DDJ 1000 of um, slider case because there's a place for it, but I haven't been using it because I've been using the Rain 1 and that's in a soft case. So I just got annoyed and they finally came out with that. I'm like, hey, I want to see that. So I'm testing it right now. I used it on one party, uh, not enough to give a review on. But if it's anything like the 7000, which is what it's supposed to be, that's what Phoenix told me, then it should be exactly the same. Just in a two mic version. Okay. Uh how do you connect the Yorkville sound Parasaurus 1600? Okay, so active PA cabinet. You should be able to connect it via the XLRs or quarter inch. I don't have that in front of me, but I mean, kind of what I'm thinking. Here, I'll pull it up real quick just because that's the kind of guy I am. All right, let's see if this thing pops up. Turn around. Turn around. Sorry, I'm just looking for pictures. Yorkville. There we go. How come nobody has pictures of the back? There are no pictures in the back. I'm assuming there's XLRs. I'm assuming there's quarter inch. It's probably a combo jack. And if that's the case, you should be able to go right out of the XLRs of your controller right into that. I can't see the back, unfortunately. Okay. Let's couple more questions here. What are your thoughts on the XZ or XR2 standalone controllers? I think they're fine. I like that it has options. I like that you can do, like on the XZ, you can do Serato, you can do record box, you can do standalone thumb drives. I think it gives you, you know, the most of most worlds. The only issue I know that some people have is that the fact that you can't run them simultaneously. But I don't know too many people that are doing that. It seems like more of a of a complaint just to complain versus actual real use practice. But the only issue I have with the XZ and any of the bigger controllers is that they're big. That's it. If they're stationary and you never move, then it's fine. But when they're big and you got to move around and be mobile, they're just too big for me personally. But I think they're great controllers. The QSC K12. So I had Jason Janney on the show yesterday, and because I've only heard the QSCs like when I'm at NAM and stuff, and they always sound good there. I've never used them in a real world, like on a party. Jason Janney used them. He didn't like them. I know a lot of people that swear by the QSCs. I know people that don't. So you know, it depends. QSC hasn't sent me any product to test. Are you into the Pioneer DDJ 3000? uh, doesn't exist. CDJ 3000s, are you into them? I don't know. I haven't used them yet. Like I said, it's just sitting here. I mean, it's big. It's like super, super big. Not complaining, but it's big. It's very, very big. That's what she said. Okay. Slide that over. Okay. Now, let's see here. Okay, Craig Perry, with you fully down DJ pools. Oh, come on. This thing is making it seem like I'm like the man. It's moving so damn fast, but it shouldn't be. Okay. Do you go from sub to the speaker or speaker to the controller? My advice, um, I always go, controller to highs and then high down to sub. That's what I would do. Your mileage may vary, but that's what I do. Okay. Craig says, with you fully downloaded DJ pools, what do you do for older music? Do you have good tips for old school dance and disco stuff? I find extended 12 inches are still good for this stuff. I've been DJing for a long time, so I actually still have all my music. There really isn't a legal record pool that has all the old stuff. Now, having said that, with BeatSource, you have access to a lot of that older stuff that wasn't there before. You're not, legally speaking, any record pool cannot have older music. It's supposed to be promotional music only. So when you see record pools that are like, we'll give you everything, they're not legal. So more power to you if you want to go with it. I can't recommend anything, but yeah. DJ Six says, does Record Box work with phase in HID mode? It does not yet anyway. It's only a Serato thing, which is another reason that I am still using Serato as kind of like my go-to, because phase in HID mode is kind of necessary. DJ Dam in the building. What's going on? Okay. Video pools do. Yeah. And that's legal too. Yeah, not putting that on a archive thing. So that actually brings me up to something that might be happening. So I ran into an issue yesterday. Uh, with the Jason Janai interview, which I thought was fantastic, but somebody felt the need to express their annoyance at me. I was, whatever. I was, I guess, on my high horse and and trying to act like I'm this big YouTuber, and I'm not. Apparently, that's what the guy said. My videos only get 1,000 views, and I only get 50 to 60 people on Twitch. So somebody felt the need to kind of call me out on that, and what I've always said is that when you look at somebody when they're making comments, typically speaking, even in annoyance and even in like kind of hate and vitriol, however they're talking, there might be some truth in there, and it's your job as a good person and being able to be critical of yourself to say, hey, is there any truth in what this person is saying? So I do know that there is one thing that I do believe I'm going to do. It has nothing to do with that guy. It has nothing to do with anything. It has to do with the fact that it's distorting my numbers. And that is these shows, like the show today and like the Wake Up in Cleveland interview show, like those those shows, if I keep them on, legitimately change my numbers. So when somebody comes on and just says, show me your latest videos. I mean, I do this twice a week, twice, 3 times a week. So those videos are going to pop up. And in between them, I'll have like my normal video, which does, 5 to 10K, whatever. So they'll see, oh, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 4,800, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 10,000, 1,000, 1,000. And then for some people, they'll look and say, maybe he's not doing as well as they think. But then I go to look at my analytics and it's like, no, you're actually doing just fine. So what might end up happening is I might end up pulling these particular shows off, because I've noticed that, and it's kind of bothered me a little bit. Just because I know that for some people, if somebody wants me to do work for them, they go to look at your analytics. And if your analytics say that you only do X amount of views, they're going to say, well, you know what? Maybe you're not right for us because your numbers don't support, what you're asking for. So that's why these shows might not exist on YouTube. They might only be on Twitch. I'm not stopping them. I don't care what anybody says. But from a personal perspective, I need to make sure that all of my stuff is in the best possible light. So I would suggest that everybody that's on here, make sure you're following me on YouTube. Oops, Freudian slip. Make sure you're following me on Twitch too, because they might disappear off of Twitch. But I'm partnered, which is kind of funny that a person who only gets 50 to 60 people can be partnered. It must mean that I actually did the work to be partner, which means that my numbers were considerably higher at one point. So there's that. But we won't go there, right? Anyway, so they're only going to be on Twitch. I think I'm going to remove them. I love YouTube. I love my static content on YouTube, but YouTube can also be exceptionally and unnecessarily toxic. Trolls are on every platform. I don't disagree with you, but YouTube trolls are different. Mods, can you drop? Oh, they already dropped it in there. It's in there now. Can you drop my my Twitch links, please, so they can jump on here and make sure they follow? Okay. I need to look into Beat Source a little more. My main ones are currently BPM Supreme and Heavy Hits. Yeah, those are. But I may go Zip DJ. Isn't Zip DJ the one that's giving you all the music on the hard drive for like X amount of dollars? I can't believe that that's actually legal. Like, I can't believe that, because it's impossible for the amount of money they're charging. There's no way that's legal. No way. Now, am I going to say anything to labels or anything? No, I don't care. But that can't be legal. Okay. PJ, yeah, I agree. See, PJ understands. He's a YouTuber too. So he gets, some of the stuff that just kind of comes out sometimes, and you're just like, people don't realize, they think like this is all free. Like this stuff right now, what I'm doing, this is free. There are no expectations for anything that I do on these shows. I do these shows to help people, free of charge. When somebody else would be like, hey, I need your help, and they would get charged. But I'm doing it for free. And sometimes it just, you hear things just like I'm thick-skinned. Obviously you have to be, but sometimes you're just like, that's kind of annoying. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's go back up. Chris Disc, appreciate you, pal. Thank you for the comments. But the only thing that he wasn't wrong about was the fact that it distorts my numbers, and I just can't have that. Just can't have that. But having said that, most of these Tech Thursdays do about 1,000 views every video. So it's not like it's, you know, chump change. He's looking at these videos like, oh, you only do 1,000. I'm like, yeah, on my live videos, which is really good. Most live videos, I'm not, you know, Barbie doll social person that has 1 million followers. That's actually pretty good. But still, I don't want that to be an arguing factor for anybody I'm trying to negotiate deals with. That's the issue. Okay. No, John, you can't ban him. I know you want to. Twitch is toxic, just not okay. The difference between Twitch and YouTube is that YouTube stuff is static. Okay. So with Twitch, I'm on Twitch right now. I do this show. I turn off Twitch. Any comment that comes on, I'm not getting notified personally if somebody's watching a replay and talking trash. I never see it again. Okay. But on YouTube, that stuff gets sent back to me. Hey, this person has a comment. Hey, this person has a comment. Hey, this. So it's always in real time. Even if like I get videos, I get comments right now, still to this day, like racist remarks about, and this guy wasn't racist. This guy was just had an opinion. So I'm not angry at this guy. It is what it is. But I've gotten like, remember when Black Lives Matter happened and I did a gig log on it and I said something in it, expressing my opinion on a situation. I still to this day get racist comments from that video. So think about it this way. Could you imagine like doing a video and you're going to get your backlash in the beginning, and then 7 months later you get hate again from the same video and it all just comes back up again? Like, that's annoying. And I'm not turning off my comments. I know that's a normal statement. Turn off your comments. I'm not doing that because there's tons of people that actually have valid questions, valid responses that I want to make sure I answer. But apparently I believe that I'm this amazing YouTuber and I'm the shit. That's basically what it is. That's when people tell me that, that's when I truly know you have no idea who I am. Honestly, because anybody that knows me knows that's so far from the truth. So far from the truth. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. What is the best way to upload to YouTube using iPad, to upload to YouTube app or website? I mean, it depends on, are you editing on your iPad? Or are you just trying to upload videos? You can upload via the YouTube app just fine. You can also, if you're using anything like, what's the video program that I use? This is what happens when I don't go to the gym in the morning and it sparks my brain. LumaFusion. So if you use things like LumaFusion, like you're actually editing on it, and I believe, um, Apple, iMovie has the ability to upload too. So that's the easiest way. Okay, let's see here. As long as you leave live streams up somewhere. Thank you. I agree. That's the reason that I've been leaving them up, but they do look weird when you're looking at my channel because most people will go, okay, Cleveland Terry, and they'll click on video and then all the live streams pop up and then it looks, lower. So I think I'm going to leave them up on Twitch since I am partnered on there. So I'll leave them on Twitch. Rob Ryan drops in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. DJ Plug in the building. Thanks for hanging out. All right, let's see here. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people just they speak without actual, facts. That's the key, Mixmaster. Uh Okay. All right. Let's try to catch up here because I do want to be done by 12. Uh, have you tried doing a show on TikTok? No, Fresh Family, I have not. I have not. Tik Maybe I will one day, but I feel like TikTok's a young man's game. You know, like I just feel like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just a young man's game. Oh, right here. This is such facts. Yeah. Once you pull up your because even I sometimes because right now look we are in a slow cycle. Like typically we're just in a very slow news cycle. We haven't really been doing gigs, and I don't want to just kind of fill the pipeline with bullshit ass videos, which I could. I could I could uh I could clickbait the hell out of people just to generate numbers, but I don't because I don't. That's not what I'm about. So but even having said that, I pull my analytics up. My analytics still say I'm doing very well. So no complaints from me. I mean, are we in a hype train? And I'm literally talking trash. I'm in a hype train. Level 1 hype train, 69%. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, all of you. Uh, all right, one funk box in the building. Wake up in TikTok. That's hilarious. TikTok Terry. Uh, Yeah, no. Look, I agree with you there, Pete. I've been doing this for a while now. Um, so sometimes it's one of those things where it's like, look, everybody's got you know a soul, and every so often you'll read something, you're just like, not so. You're not angry at the person that's leaving the comment. You're angry at just the way something is perceived. That's so far off base that you're just like, that's not even true. Like, none of this stuff you're saying is true. Like the comment that happened, I sent it to Jason. I literally sent it to Jason, like, I'm sorry if I was being an asshole. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, that show was great. I can't wait to be on again. So it's one of those funny things that you never, the way people see things sometimes, and sometimes people just don't like me. That's true. I don't think that's the case with this guy. He just interpreted it, in a weird way. So it is what it is. But I always like comments because I like to, hear what people have to say. All right. So Sixberg says live stream wedding ceremonies. What's your opinion on that? My opinion on if you can do it, do it. Mixmaster Gino, my VODs are on subs only. I'll probably take it off. If I pull YouTube off, I'll take the VODs off of sub only. Okay, let's see here. But yes, live stream wedding ceremonies. What's your opinion? Um, the issue you're going to deal with, especially with weddings, is that typically they're usually in more obscure places, which means that you're going to be struggling with Wi-Fi or internet or whatever you're using, hotspots. That's going to become an issue. So anytime you promise people a service, you better be able to like do it. But with streaming, now you have to make sure you have multiple cameras. So you need cameras in the back, you need cameras in their faces, you need cameras on the sides, you need maybe an overhead camera for the ring. Like there's a lot more into it if you want to do it correctly. But hey, if you can charge for it and people want to pay, I mean, we've been doing, not us personally, but live stream bar mitzvahs have been huge right now. So in fact, my son was supposed to do Torah for Rosh Hashanah yesterday, and because of the virus and everything like that, we decided we weren't going to go. So they still stream the whole thing online. So yeah, if you can do it, do it. Same to you, Blue Silver. Okay. Okay, so with the sub, thank you so much. Bard mouth. What? Okay, let's see what else here. Salang says, "Which of these ports do I use booth or main RCA quarter-inch XLR jack on DJ controller. You It sounds to me like you are in dire need of reading your manual because this kind of stuff is in there. But typically speaking, if you're going out of a controller, going out XLR is usually the safest bet for a couple of reasons. But XLR is typically the best. So XLR to all the way into XLR onto the into the speaker. Booth is for you. So that means if you have a secondary speaker for your monitoring, that's the sound that comes out of the booth. That's what you plug your booth into. That way you have control over the volume so it doesn't affect the master volume out there. So you can turn the booth down when you need to, turn it on when you can. Okay. But yes, pull up your manual. You know, kind of important. Don't worry about it, John. Next time. It's okay. It's okay. Jason Jedi dropped 40 subs yesterday on his own. Absolutely insane. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Blue Silver with the subscription. Thank you so much, fam. Appreciate you. Okay. Couple more, and then we're going to get out of here. Damien in Chicago. Happy Thursday. Likewise. Oh, Philip 10. Good. Great. There you go. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a thing now. I mean, there's a lot of old people that go to temple. So, they got to keep it safe for people, which is kind of a contradiction because you got a lot of old people that shouldn't go to temple, but they can't work the internet. So we're just losing across the board. Okay. Last couple of questions. What can I do with my 9.4 thousand channel points? Well, when I start DJing again, which will probably be, I haven't figured out the date yet. You'll be able to use them then. Phone tether with the GoPro. I would be worried too, because what you're not taking into consideration is you might be there with your phone and your GoPro and everything's fine, and then you get everybody that's there to watch the stream, and then you bring in all these other cell phones and all these other things, and next thing you know, maybe you start running into glitches. Have you live streamed on Mixcloud or BandLab? Never on BandLab. As a matter of fact, I haven't even heard of BandLab. Mixcloud, yes. I used to Mixcloud. I used to mix on Mixcloud all the time. Nothing wrong with it. It's fine. Some people have success with it. I'll just leave it at that. And now when they have their browser-based streaming, it's opened up a lot of options for people. That's all I can really say. There's nothing wrong with Mixcloud. Bath towel. I'm gonna give you bath salts. Okay. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good here. I think we're good. It's 11:56. So my partner's already saying, "Hit me when you can." Can't win, man. I'm always busy. Always busy. Okay. So let's see. Let's see who is online right now that's going to stay online. I didn't do Don Perignon last time. So that's who we'll raid this time. We'll raid Don. I got it. You don't have to kick it in. There we go. Okay. All right. So we'll start this raid going. Hopefully sooner than later. So I can be off exactly at 12. Yeah. So what we'll do is Yeah, we'll keep all the videos on Twitch for review. Always busy. Gatsby, you have no idea, man. Nonstop busyness. But I appreciate everybody coming out today. I appreciate everybody hanging. Honestly, we'll do Tech Thursday again. Next Tech Thursday might only be on Twitch. Have not decided yet. We'll figure that part out. But we're gonna see. I'm gonna do some weighing on it over the weekend to see what I want to do. Next week, Wednesday, I have who do I have on? DJ Spinurita. She will be on Wednesday. Should be a great show. And obviously, we will always have Tech Thursday. I have over 50 people watching on BandLab. Oh, dope. Bobby G. I'll check it out. For everybody else, you guys know what to do. Make sure you guys are following me on Instagram because I'm doing a lot of stuff there too. And, we'll go from there. So enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. If I don't come back on, I might because I have to test this guy out. We'll see you soon. Peace out.